Yo everyone, welcome to Amps, Pedals and Pickups. My name's Nathan and today we're going to be looking at ToneX again. I've been looking at your captures, the community captures, and I want to run you through the best 10 or 11 captures that I can find. Last time I just checked out ToneX, the app itself, but I'm going to look at ToneX inside of Amplitude 5. It should really be the same thing, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different because I've got access to all the Amplitude pedals. Now, if you're new to the channel, the sort of music that I like to play is punk, rock, metal, all that sort of stuff. So medium to high gain stuff here. I've got a few clean tones, but a lot of high gain and mid gain stuff. Now, the guitar that I'm using today is a Gibson SG61 reissue, stock pickups. The tuning that I'm running it in is drop C sharp. Make sure to stick to the end of the video. I'm going to give you my thoughts on all these ToneX captures in general, but I'm just going to run through them, play them, and see how they go first. All right, so to kick things off, we've got this JCM 800 with an 808 pedal. When you run things inside of Amplitude 5, one thing I've noticed is that you don't get all the information for the ToneX models, but as we can see here, it's a 800 with a 808 pedal in front of it, into a Mesa oversized 4x12. But you know, enough talk, let's check out the tones. It's a bit of noise there you can hear, but I've got the noise gate, which completely cuts things off. Now, one of the things I think the ToneX models are doing really well is dynamics when playing. So if we take this model here that we just listened to, obviously when I'm cranking it, you're going to get that full distortion characteristics. But if I just back off my picking, you can hear that it's reacting a lot differently and a lot softer. So yeah, I think that's an all-around good punk / rock tone there. Very, very good gain characteristics. It's thick and meaty when you need it, but on the palm mutes, it is a little bit softer. Very, very usable across the board. All right, so the next one we got here is the Friedman BE100 with the tube screamer in front of it into some sort of Marshall cab. This had a lot of votes, so let's check it out. It's just not completely gained out the way that I want it. So let's see what the post gain looks like. Yeah, that actually does the trick without needing to add a stomp box. My philosophy here is if you can get good results by doing the least amount of moves, by messing with the tone the least amount, that's probably going to get you the best mileage. If you start stacking things on there, heaps of pedals, heaps of EQ cutting, sure, you might be able to achieve that tone, but it's also a very easy way to cheese things out. If you can just make some small moves on the amp, then that's going to be a lot better of a way. So just upping that gain. The next one here is a 5153 advanced in the description. It's based on the 50 watt with an 808 pedal in front of it. The gain on this one is very, very good. Let's check it out. This one is pretty much the only capture I've heard that has that gain girth thing. Everything is always going to be a little bit drier, which, you know, for all intents and purposes, for mixing, that drier sort of gain is probably going to be a lot easier to work with. But when I'm a player and I want to like crank out some riffs, this is the sort of girth I want to get. You know, I could be even more of a savage and up that gain. Let's see how that... So yeah, look, mixing wise, you're probably going to need to tame this one down, but I really love the brutalness of it. You're probably going to need to do some post EQing because there's a lot of like fizziness going up in the top end. But once again, as a base model, if you go and check out my STL Tone Hub video, I would be happy to get a capture like this. And the fact that we're getting a capture like this out of the community is so good. We're just a couple days into it and the captures are sounding really, really good. All right, so the next one here is the Bogner Uber Heavy Rhythm. It says it's got a precision drive in front of it with an angle cab. Let's check out the Bogner. All right, so the next one here is based on a 6506 with an 808 pedal, high gain turn. I remember playing this. It's one of RiF's ones. He got this in straight away, one of the first captures out there. That's so cool. Let's check out how a RiF's capture sounds. Very cool. It's got this sort of low fuzz thing, almost like a SLO sort of sound. So I'm just going to roll the gain down a little bit, and roll the bass down a little bit. Actually, the gain was the wrong call there. I'm going to go up. Almost has like a SLO rectifier thing going on, a little bit slinky, scooped sort of sounding. I think with like lower tuning stuff, you know, I've got a riff in mind that would sound really massive with this. I'm going to leave a link to all these captures below. So if you like them, make sure you thumbs up them. It really helps everyone out in the community. Drop them a comment, any sort of interaction there. And what a great segue. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. All helps out. I've also started a Discord server. The link's going to be in the description below. So if you want to join Discord, talk plugins, mixes, guitar, sims, I've got a few pedals on the way that I'm going to be doing some reviews of. If you like all that stuff, join Discord, join in on the conversation. So I've got here the Framers Cobra. Man, every time this comes up in the Fractal communities about what amps to add, I always want them to add the Framer stuff. But here we have a Framers Cobra with a 433 pedal, some sort of angle cab. Let's check out how the Framers goes. Man, that's a very sure. This is like the first one I'm hearing going, man, there's a lot of top end going on. So let's try and tame that. We've got the presence and treble that I'll be balancing out. Yeah, but that's a pretty good bass tone there. That just definitely needed some taming. here. I definitely would need some post EQ work, but the bones of a very good tone is there. I like the capture. It's got some good gain structure and everything. It feels very good to play under the hands. But yeah, there's just a lot of top end going there. All right, so here's a clean tone. This is the Dream 65 Clean, based off the Universal Audio pedal. I think this is one of the highest rated ToneX ToneNet captures at the moment. I had it on my other video, which I'll link up here, one of those sides. But yeah, very, very awesome tone from Wawa Man. But yeah, one of the reasons that I'm loading things up in Amplitude is so I can chuck a compressor on there. Let's mess around with a bit of delay and reverb. So I'll get some delay happening. We'll hear what it sounds like with the delay in the compressor. Might just turn that feedback down. But it really, really comes alive when you add some reverb on this. I've got a plate, a room, and a shimmer reverb all lined up. Let's check out the plate to start off with. Up the mix a little bit, get that pre-delay happening. Yeah, there we go, nice and long plate. So we'll try out the room. It's a little bit more subtle on the reverb. I mean, it's still pretty heavy, but it's not quite as full on as the plate. And while we're here, might as well check out the shimmer. You can do a lot of like soundscapey stuff with that. There's heaps you can do with the shimmer. So this is the only other clean tone I've got going on here. This is a Fender Deluxe 65. Once again, not too sure about the patch. I'll post some info on screen. Don't have it on hand, but yeah, this was a very other highly rated tone. And when I played it, just like that new AFX clean tone, this is super pristine, something that I'll definitely be using and have bookmarked in my arsenal. So just like the other patch, let's chuck the compressor on. I've got all this stuff keyed up here. So we've got the delay going on. We'll check out the plate reverb. If you want to make those wizard tones, the shimmer is the way to go. Very, very soundscapey, very cool. Heaps of stuff you can do there. So there we have it, a bunch of cool ToneX, ToneNet captures. Now I was going to say I'm going to give my general feedback on the high gain tone captures. So what I've been finding with the super high gain tones, and I've been talking to some other people on forums and on Discord with this kind of thing, is the gain structure on a lot of the amps is just lacking. It's coming up a lot drier. And you know, if that dry sound is what you want, that's really awesome. But definitely when I've been doing some captures here, it's got this thick, meaty tone going on. I sit through the process of capturing the amp and it's just sort of, it's not there and it's like very distinct, which is very bizarre because a lot of the clean and low to mid gain stuff and even the sort of medium gain stuff, I would say, you know, is very, very good. You hear the A-B comparisons that other people are doing. The stuff is just dead on. But as soon as you start to dial things up and get into that ultra high gain area, like, you know, Ghost Inside, Parkway Drive, I Killed the Prom Queen, that's super, super high gain stuff, things just start to get super bogus and weird. So if anyone has any info on capturing those sort of tones, I'm all ears. Join Discord, message me on GearPage, message the channel, do whatever you can, reach out. Now, another thing that needs to be said about ToneX, and I've thought about this with Amplitude for quite a while now, and I thought they'd fix things, but the menus are just like impressively bad. The way that you navigate around things, it's like, I feel like I've gone back to Windows XP or something. Everything is like just very, very rigid. Things aren't in the way that you want. They sort of like work one way over here. And then when you do things over there, you know, I would almost love to pick the brain of the UX and the UI people at IK because it's actually like spectacularly bad. I don't know how this could go through product testing. It's so rigid and just things just don't work how you think they work. You know, we use so many programs and things just generally have like a nice flow, but everything in Amplitude and ToneX is just very start-stoppy. It's just very rigid and you sort of have to learn to do things their way. And I think it's to the point that it's actually a serious barrier because a normal person who's not that sort of computer inclined would get on here and unless you're doing something the ultra specific way that IK wants you to do it, it's just very confusing. Even I have had to like just juggle the way things are happening. It's a mess. It's a complete mess. I don't like the menus. I hope they change it. They're probably never going to change because this is the way they have been for quite a while now. But I think it just needs to be said, the UI, the menus, absolute garbage. They need to fix it. I think ToneX as a whole so far is shaping up to be a pretty good platform. It's a very reasonable price of entry. And I think, you know, the clean tones, the low gain tones, the medium gain tones that you're getting now are very, very good. That's definitely worth the price of admission, like 4 or 5 times over. It's a very, very competent profiler. I think for now, the high gain tones, for what I'm hearing, is you would have to do quite a lot of post EQ work and sort of push and pull things, sort of like the Sims of yesteryear. Like if you remember having Pod Farm, you'd have to like get a tone and just have this massive chain after it to get it to sound good. That is really sort of not acceptable in 2022. Also, this is meant to be a profiler. Like when you buy a Kemper or a Quad Cortex and you profile something, you want that moment of like, yeah, this is what my amp sounds like, and this is what the capture sounds like. Like how good are they? How close are they sounding? From what I'm hearing, they're not close at all when it comes to high gain stuff. I would love to be proven wrong. So if you have any high gain captures where you can show me like, this is what my gained out 5150 whatever sounds like, and this is what my gained out ToneX capture sounds like, you know, I'll eat my words. I would love to see that. But from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, when I pull up tones, I can just feel that gain lacking, which is just a little bit disappointing because everything else sounds and feels really good. But unfortunately, the amps that I want to play, that I want to geek out over, are just not there. This is just version 1 or 1.01 of the app. IK definitely has a lot of room to grow to like mature their neural learning. So maybe months or years to come, the algorithms and the neural learning will just get better and better and better. And maybe they can fine tune stuff for high gain amps. And then, you know, we can hit that utopia. So if you have any other tones that you want me to check out, just leave them in the comments below. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button. I've mentioned it before. Join Discord, talk to us, talk geek out about mixing, guitar stuff, pedals, all that sort of stuff, amps, pedals and pickups. It's your boy Nathan. Thanks for sticking around and I'll catch you on the next one.